So, in today's episode, we're talking about big picture thinking. And I know you're probably thinking, what's that? Big picture thinking, like, okay. And like, it's kind of self explanatory, but we're really going to be breaking it down into not just a concept, but just an actual way to be.
Yeah.
So we're really excited for you to be hearing about this. It's perfect for whenever you're hearing this podcast. I know when we're recording it, it's a little bit towards the end of the year.
That part.
So this is the time to really start envisioning what you want your next chapter. I'm trying not to make it like time specific.
Right.
When your next chapter is going to be.
Right.
And what it's going to look like. So if you are interested in learning about big picture thinking, make sure that you stay tuned.
Yeah.
Break my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. I'm telling everybody.
Hello, and welcome back to the Madeherselfaboss podcast. In case you already don't know, but you should, my name is Bree.
Hey, and I'm your girl Shy, and we're so excited that you are back for another amazing episode
of the Madeherselfaboss podcast.
There we go. Yeah, so when I think about big picture thinking, I think about what scares me. Because most times when we think about, our dreams, our aspirations, whatever, we're thinking at the level that we are.
Yeah.
But when I think about big picture thinking, I'm thinking, what is the thing I most desire that scares me, which is why I'm not acting on it anyway? Like, that is what I need to be in when I think about big picture thinking. So all things bigger, as far as my mindset, as far as the things I need to do, as far as making it happen, whatever they are. You know how they say, like, your dreams are not big enough. You need to dream bigger. Well, in a way, they got something to it, right? I think about when you're aiming for something here, this is all you can see. But when you start thinking bigger over that, wherever you are here, you get complete and then some. But you would never know if your mind wasn't even already further out in the thought. Right?
Exactly.
So that's what comes to mind for me when I think about big picture thinking.
Right. And I think that you're so right. But honestly, when it comes to the fear people have about big picture thinking or whatever terms or words, because they all mean the same thing. Think even bigger than where you're at right now. Yeah. Shoot for the stars, shoot for the moon, land on the stars, that sort of thing. I think that it comes with a lot of fear for people, especially when they don't feel as though they are doing good enough where they are. And then like to have the nerve or the gumption to think even bigger than that. Some people may not feel ready for more.
Or even worthy of more.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got a good point about that, because I can think of a time where I'm like,
Right. Like how many ever since I have to say this, only in Madeherselfaboss have I been using the word capacity. Before we started, I was never thinking about my capacity. What can I handle? And so I can imagine a lot of people when they're not doing what they think is good enough for the space that they're in, it could be hard or even overwhelming to think about thinking bigger. They may think it's outside of their capacity.
Yeah.
But I am glad that we are discussing it today because like the other saying says, you reach for the moon and land on the stars. So maybe expanding it a little bit more, thinking even bigger, like wherever you do land will still be some sort of progression from where you are now.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to dig into this conversation.
Yeah. And even more when you say it leads into, when you think about big picture thinking, the energy that comes with that. I know you kind of just alluded to it, but like, where are you when you're thinking of it, right? So you're having a bad day, right? You're having a bad day. And even the goal that you set for yourself, the energy that you have around a bad day could mess that up in a way. So the energy that you have around the bigger picture that you're desiring for yourself plays a huge part. And even protecting your energy when it comes to that. I mean, you better than you. You better than us, right? So you would know how to govern yourself when your energy is low or your temperament is low. The staying in the highest level of energy is what? Love, joy, gratitude, right? And you try to stay in that as much as possible. Not every day is a great day to do it, but you try, right? You try to reroute your thoughts. You try to know, okay, this thought this is not serving me today. I got to let it go. You try all the things, right? Because life is really life and for all of us, right? But as much as you can, I'm saying stay in the highest. Creativity, love, joy, gratitude is the most where you can stay and ground your energy in, right? There are most times when we are in doubt. What are some negative emotions? Fear, all of those. There are moments, a lot of moments when we are in those, but it's only what we do to get out of those moments. Sometimes reassuring ourselves, finding the facts and what's true or not true in the moment, right? Like all of those things. When you're realizing that your energy and what you're putting into your bigger picture plays a part in it actually happen, then you're realizing, oh my goodness, this is actually currency.
Right.
Your energy is currency. Right? So, and the base word of currency clearly is current, right?
Right.
Things need to move. So how are you,
flow?
Right. Things need to flow. So how are you constantly moving your energy or staying in the high vibrations of your energy as you are thinking about what you most desire, even when it's bigger than what you could think today? Add that in your little journal.
I like that. I like that.
I get deep, y'all.
Speaking of, just a little shameless plug, by the time you're watching this, you should definitely be going down into the description box because we are in the process of having our Madeherselfaboss journal. So the link is down there for you to go ahead and get signed up so that you can receive yours at whatever stage we are in our productivity of it. You can go ahead and get signed up or just go ahead and grab your journal at this time. So definitely be listening for these gems, for these bullet points.
Okay. So when your energy is lower, right? If your vibration is lower, right? Let's talk about how can you move, because currency means current, moving, right? Let's talk about how we can move it back up. Music is one of the fastest ways to do it. You know, bump your Glorilla, bump your Beyonce, bump whatever makes you feel good at the end of the day, or if you got your money playlist or your I Feel Good playlist, whatever the playlists are, right? Turn that on right away. Move your energy. Start feeling good, right? If you're that type of person. Music, I was going to say money. Money will change your energy, right? But music, right? Next, you can journal. You can remind yourself of who you are or whose you are, right? You could read the good book and remind yourself who you are, or you could read your journal, or if you have a compliment,
journal
or accomplishments. Look, I mean, things that you do for people can make me feel good too. So, read the things that you have done, because something is different when you're reading on paper or when you're writing. Your brain is in your brain memory, Lord. When you're writing it down physically, what you have done does something to your brain. So like those are things that can move your energy, right? Affirmations, you know, speaking affirmations out loud in the mirror, looking at yourself can move your energy. And sometimes somebody that you have a high respect for, a great friend about, can also help you move your energy too, no matter what is going on, to raise it back up. Because you want to make sure as much as you can, right? Because life is life. But as much as you can, you want to make sure you are staying in the highest of the things. That's how things move for you in your life and your business and money as well.
Yes. That last one made me smile, because I feel like we all have that person where you call them something, probably like, girl, if you don't get up and get it together, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are?
Yes.
Many times Shy is that person.
Many times Bree is that person for me. So you need that person.
Need that person. Have that person on speed dial. And look, just let them do what they do, because that's what you need. If you need something, like if you're in a slump and it's really hard to like move out of that, I've even heard like a cold shower. There have been times where I was like under pressure in some situations, deadlines and stuff like that. Anxiety's kicking in, like hard to just get into like my moment of flow. What will hard stop that so that you can start a new energy is honestly a cold shower. Because who's thinking about anything at all?
Nothing.
Good, better, or indifferent in a cold shower. And that gives you an opportunity to like reset it. You know, as soon as you get out, play that music, call that friend. Because it's hard to break sometimes. Yeah,
that is so good.
Girl.
I could add on to the list other modalities such as breath work, tapping, sound therapy, those things as well, to add to that list, to get your energy moving in the moments of, stuff.
Yes. So for those of y'all struggling, like, oh, that sounds good, but that's not working for me, try these methods, these little hard stop things, and they will definitely work.
Okay. So when your energy is lower, right? If your vibration is lower, right? Let's talk about how can you move, because currency means current, moving, right? Let's talk about how we can move it back up. Music is one of the fastest ways to do it. If you know, bump your Glorilla, bump your Beyonce, bump whatever makes you feel good at the end of the day, or if you got your money playlist or your I Feel Good playlist, whatever the playlists are, right? Turn that on right away. Move your energy. Start feeling good, right? If you're that type of person. Music, I was gonna say money. Money will change your energy, right? But music, right? Next, you can journal. You can remind yourself of who you are or whose you are, right? You could read the good book and remind yourself who you are, or you could read your journal, or if you have a compliment,
Journal.
or accomplishments. Look, I mean, things that you do for people can make me feel good too. So, read the things that you have done, because something is different when you're reading on paper or when you're writing.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain is in your brain memory, Lord. When you're writing it down physically, what you have done does something to your brain. So like those are things that can move your energy, right? Affirmations, speaking affirmations out loud in the mirror, looking at yourself can move your energy. And sometimes somebody that you have a high respect for, a great friend about, can
even though we know like the possible benefits
Right.
on the other side.
I think people don't want to do the work. It's doing the work that can allow the fear to sink in or allow you just to sit. Like, let's be real, sometimes we just don't want to do the thing. I think a lot of times we know what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
We just know that we don't want to do what's necessary to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like, we know what to do to grow our revenue, but are we really committed to doing it? Do I really want to do all that work? And same for as staying comfortable, like personally, professionally, whatever, Lee. I know what I need to do to get to X, but do I really want to commit and do the work consistently to get there? And that's an answer for yourself, right? A lot of times, I know before, last episode we talked about things that are scary. Sometimes getting things that are not in our comfort zone is scary. But to me, what's scarier and the danger of it is not doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Because of what I'm trying to accomplish. What I'm trying to do is bigger than who I am today.
Yeah.
Like, I should be competing with myself, the old version of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not doing that, then I'm staying at a level that's not even serving anybody. Like, think about who we're called to serve. Think about like the purpose over your life. Think about those things. That requires you to stand up and show up at a level of excellence anyway. And if you are okay with just settling mediocrity, or just staying in the comfort because your body's just trying to protect you, fear, right? Then you're not rising to the higher cause of your life. Like, think about it in that capacity. That's some deep ass shit.
It's very deep. It's very deep. It's internal. It's like it's you having to have a real deal conversation with yourself. I mean, it reminds me of conversations that we had before about the state of being. Like, who do you need to be in order to get, this ideal life or this ideal business that you want? The truth is, for me, I think a lot of people just get too overwhelmed.
Okay.
And so they stay in that comfort zone because it feels very safe. Making a bunch of changes at one time, that new being can sometimes be hard. And I think most times when we are hearing the discussions about it around these internet streets, it's like, just turn it off and wake up different tomorrow.
It's not that
and
easy.
It's not that easy. I mean, I think that coming out of your comfort zone it does literally start one decision at a time.
Yeah.
As soon as you leave your house, you don't know all the many decisions that you're going to be presented with throughout the day. That each and every one of those is an opportunity to slowly but surely get out of that comfort zone. It could be something as different as making that phone call to a potential client, to a potential whatever, on your lunch break. It could be, someone connected with you on Instagram that you're kind of like socially shy, and instead of just keeping it on the DMs, maybe hitting them up and be like, let's have lunch. Let's discuss this idea. Just these little tiny decisions that you don't even think about. Really pay attention to your body. Is fear, like, are you feeling something? That's how you know that it's pushing against the comfort zone door.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to really take 5 seconds, maybe even call that person back to really, dig deep. Like, why am I scared? Weigh my pros and my cons right now. You know what? I'm going to go for it.
That's good.
I'm going to just go for it.
Just do it. Do it like Nike. Just do it.
Right. And slowly but surely you are working out that muscle, that exercise of stepping out of your comfort zone. When you think about it, it really isn't just an overnight thing.
No.
Even people who say that, like, it really does start with one decision at a time anyway.
And notice how she said decision, not a choice. So when you make a decision, it's final. When you make a choice, there's more options. So she said make one decision at a time to progress, because it doesn't have to be perfect as long as there's progression. And then you got it.
You got to see it through, my boy. When you make a decision, you got to see it through. I love that. So I hope that these things, we haven't even gotten to everything yet, but I hope that they are helping you just get to that big picture. I hope that you're imagining what that big picture is and the methods that you can use to actually get there. We do not want you to just have another, try not to say next year, another chapter where you're having the same goals repeated, because you're just not reaching them and you're not really trying either.
And with that being said, we will be right back.
Ready to grow your business without the grind? Visit growthwithoutgrind.com, the go-to resource for women entrepreneurs. From digital products and exclusive events to practical freebies and must-have tools, we have everything to help you grow no matter your stage in business. Say goodbye to burnout and hello to growth. Find what you need at growthwithoutgrind.com. Welcome back from the break. We hope that you enjoyed whatever it is that we have going on, because we always have something going on. So let's dig into 10xing your vision. I know there's tons of ladies out there who've never heard of that concept. What is 10xing your vision, Shy?
It is basically whatever the vision you have for yourself, 10 times it, right? When you are 10 timesing anything, right, you will reach the goal that you have for yourself a lot faster, or even more than you would have if you just laid it at. For an example, I'm gonna make it up, small numbers just for the sake of my brain to think faster. If your goal was to reach $1,000, right, think of, let me make 10xing that will be $10,000. I hope that's right. Let me know if I'm wrong. But let me see what I need to do to reach $10,000. As you are putting the energy into $10,000, even though your original goal was to make $1,000, 9 times out of 10, you're going to reach 5K or more, right? So when we talk about 10xing, we'll go break down the things. We want you to think more than where your original thought was. So this whole theme is big picture thinking. We're going to 10x all of the things, right? So your big picture, you're 10 times in your vision, whatever the vision you have for yourself. So the vision that we have for Madeherselfaboss is for it to be a household name where there are sub-brands underneath that are impacting women everywhere in the various of ways, right? So for us to even accomplish that, well, we won't call our stuff basic, but for that original vision, we have to think, okay, let's think globally. Let's put the energy on what it looks like to go global. What do we need to do today? Who do we need to be today for it to be a global phenomenon? That's what we mean by 10xing your vision. So think about the vision you have for your life, for your business, for whatever it is, right? What does it look like to 10x that vision? Who must that person be today? What does he or she look like? What does she smell like? What is she dressing like? Is she looking like money, walking like money? Like, who are her friends, right? What is she saying? What is she putting up with? What is she not putting up with? Like, you need to be her. The issue sometimes with a lot of things, I know I'm going off topic, I'm gonna get back on it. Keep up with me, is that the things that we have for ourselves, we are never really getting there because we're not being it.
Right.
Like the thing of most things is embodiment.
We're not being about that life.
We're not, because we're too busy here. Right? So when we talk about 10xing the vision, because that's what we're talking about right now, you have to go above and beyond. And that's where the fear or the overwhelm can sink in, because it's like, well, I get what they're saying. They're saying like, okay, I'm here, but I want to be here, but I ain't even there. Right. So I can see how the fear and then the thoughts and then the overwhelm and everything else we just talked about, how we told them to take small steps, is just going right out the window. When you see this 10x of the vision that you already had for yourself. What we're trying to tell you is when you're operating in that, everything that you desire is actually coming to you a little bit quicker, because you're already operating at a level that you desire higher than what you thought before.
Right.
That's the key to it.
It's making more sense for that person that you're being. It's making more sense for that to come to that person.
Yes.
Because they're living that lifestyle. They're making those movements. They're making those decisions. They're having those conversations.
Yep.
They're doing it all. So, I mean, that makes complete wonderful sense. And you were also right in that we can imagine a lot of people are like right now, and it's okay. You'll get over the initial shock, especially when you sit down with your journal and really reflect, like what is being for me look like, being what, being who, being in what action and what state of mind. And again, it really does start off. Oh my gosh, it really does start off with one decision at a time. You're not just going to, you can wake up feeling great, and then something comes at you, a question, you're like.
Then throw all that good stuff out the door. All of it went away.
Right. It really is just one decision at a time. So when we talk about being and becoming, now the question is, well, what would my best self do?
I love that.
In this scenario. Or at the very, very minimum, because we do have some ladies that are at their baby steps, what's just going to be a little bit more than bare minimum in this scenario?
Okay.
What can I do that's just a little bit more than bare minimum, and then you can build on top of that?
Yeah. I like
so
that.
we don't want any of y'all. No one has the excuse to leave this podcast episode overwhelmed. No, because it's one step at a time, and we can all do that one step at a time.
What's the one step in front of the other? What's that, Rudolph or Frosty the Snowman? One of the things. The song.
We in Christmas mode right now. Clearly.
So that is what you're doing, as Bree said, as you're 10xing your vision. And that same applies to any goal, 10xing your goals, 10xing your lifestyle, 10xing anything. You want to think, okay, this is where I am, and this is what the goal that I have for myself. Who do I need to be, or who must I become?
Right.
What version of myself must I become to reach the 10x of that?
Right. Oh, bonus question, because I know what's going to come up. It's happened to me. It's happened to so many people who just decided that they wanted better and to stop being that bare minimum. The people in your life, the people surrounding you, especially in our community, sometimes we get that, who does she think that she is? Oh, you weren't doing this last week. All of that. And that, I'm trying to think of all the ways that could deter someone from just being consistent on that road. And as much as we hate to admit it, sometimes that does either deter us or make us feel a little bit less guilty for not staying consistent, because others who are used to being around us don't have those expectations for us anyway. Yeah. So my best advice is not just to get new friends, but you do clearly need some new friends who are going to big you up, who are excited to hear about this big picture thinking and be like, oh, I love that for you. I'm excited for you already. Like, let me hold you accountable to that. Yeah. But it is some mental strength. With that muscle that you're building, with each decision, with you writing down this new person that you're becoming, and signing at the bottom with your signature. It's a contract to yourself now. It's a matter of holding yourself accountable to that, because though we do want you to call other people to help you, you're not always going to have that at every single moment of the day. Yeah. You're really not, and it's really going to come to who are you going to be satisfied with when you go to bed at night. So if you do have people in your life who are like questioning this new you, and like as if you have the nerve and the gall and the audacity to want something better for yourself, that's completely fine. This is where you take that accountability, where you become your own best friend, where it's you against you, and you don't want the old you to be beating your ass. That part. That's the consequence. That's the consequence. I don't know. Is there anything else that the ladies may be feeling like is holding themselves back from the big picture? Or I think we covered it all. Like, they don't have any excuses now, do they?
I don't think they have any excuses.
None.
Or the ones that they tell themselves, because everything is the stories we tell ourselves.
Right.
But no, I don't think they have any more excuses. I think we dispelled a lot of them. What I will say is that as you are evolving, and when you learn new information and you want to apply it for yourself, for the betterment of yourself, like Bree said, there are some people that you are going to have to be okay with letting go. I think Tyler Perry or somebody else, whoever, said reason, season, lifetime. Right? Meet people in those kind of buckets, right? And as you are elevating yourself and desiring more for yourself, some people may not, stay up with you. And that's okay. And you have to learn to be okay. Because I think about sometimes there's grief in losing friends. There's grief in letting go. And there's grief, but knowing that there is the burning more that you are desiring for yourself in your life is more than the people who are not going to support you or talk down or not even hold you accountable for the dreams that you have. Sometimes you can't even tell people your 10x vision or your bigger picture for yourself because they don't even have the capacity
to take
even
it in.
receive it because they don't even have it for themselves.
Right.
So yeah, I would
That's a thing.
that. Yeah, I'll add that in there.
So we hope that we gave you plenty to think about when you think about your big picture thinking.
Yes.
This is a lot, and after you watch this is something that you should seriously set out some time to flush it out, to ask yourself the hard questions, and to write down some new accountabilities for yourself. So please grab your notebook, preferably the Madeherselfaboss journal, and to do that. If you, of course, have any questions, you need any support, anything like that, please go ahead and check our show notes and the numerous ways that you can get in contact with us. We have plenty of resources at growthwithoutgrind.com as always. And we will see you on the next episode.
Yeah, see you, girl.
Bye.